before the show starts, I just want to commemorate all of us coming together today.
First time?
Obviously.
Oh my goodness, it is.
We have our waters, not sponsored by Life Water, by the way, but
We should be.
I figured because of this event, I need something just a little stiffer, right? Now,
Fantastic.
this is going to be a little confusing to anybody who's listening, so I would suggest going to the YouTube video and looking at this. But, by the way, we just passed 200 subscribers, which thank you all for helping us achieve that milestone. But
We love you. We appreciate it.
before this episode starts, I'm going to drink this 8.4 ounce Red Bull in one gulp. I usually do 12 ounces, but I've sort of dropped off recently, so.
I honestly didn't know that we were officially starting. I didn't know that's how he was going to start it. I'm like the audience here. I'm ready to go.
I've been hiding it from you the whole time.
That was such a surprise to all of us. I was sitting here thinking he was going to talk to all three of us like a little pre-show message.
You know what I'm saying?
Going. I'm ready.
He's going ahead.
All right. So, cheers. Going in 3, 2, 1.
Oh my God. We should have timed it.
He should have shotgunned it if he was going to do that.
I mean, keys are right over there.
And
Fantastic.
welcome, everybody, to another episode of the 426 podcast.
Give him a second.
The show made by young people
Eyes are watering.
for everybody. My name is Adam Duffy, and I am so glad to be joined by all of my illustrious co-hosts, Jack Casey,
What's up, everybody?
Parsa Pahlevankah.
Severely offended you started with Jack. It should always go to me first. I'm offended.
I love how you think you're still second in command. That's so funny.
And TJ.
Terez Hill.
Yeah.
Everybody. Yeah, done.
Wow. Who's first in command then?
You.
All right, cool. Just wanted to hear you say it. All right.
I wasn't going to say it. That's why I stay silent.
Parsa secretly thinks he's first in command, but it's fine.
No, I just have a big ego. I won't admit that.
Guys, we're all tied for first in command, okay? This is an oligarchy.
As Adam said, this is our podcast.
This is our podcast. But speaking of our podcast, guys, episode 15, big milestone. Obviously, we're all here together,
So geeked.
which is awesome. But also, done a few changes to the set.
You did.
More coming soon.
Add a little spice to it.
It is December. It is the Christmas/holiday season for whatever you may be celebrating. And we decorated to suit. May not be able to see it right now, but it does look amazing to us, and we are very excited for it.
Yeah.
But today, we have a myriad of topics that we want to talk about. I'm very excited about. But first, Parsa and Jack, you guys have something you've been talking about the entire week.
we got some beef. I'm just playing. Our relationship's actually gotten a lot better.
I was literally about to say it's like gotten a lot better because remember last episode I rewatched it and Parsa. Well, I just remember this too. Parsa was like, me and Jack have been a little hostile. We've been a little snappy with each other.
But we went and got some tacos.
It was our team bonding exercise yesterday.
Yesterday we took some stuff from around here to the dump and we got some tacos and we were chilling. It was
awesome,
good.
dude.
Parsa only offended me. Not even. I take that back. I don't even get offended. Parsa just roasted me in some way in a way he thought was funny. Let's say like 3 times ish, maybe, which is a good record.
What did I say?
I'm just playing. I don't know what you said.
Oh,
that was
okay.
a joke.
Yeah, no, because I haven't said anything. I feel like we've been pretty chill.
Is that what you were referring to? Was our little beef from last week? We got to talk about.
No,
I just
we're
said you
talking
guys
about
just been
how-
like talking about this a lot the past week, and I just wanted to see you guys get into it. But I'm glad to know that my team bonding exercise that I orchestrated yesterday had an effect on the two of you. It makes me feel very
Looking
happy.
back now, I can tell it's very, very agendaed and planned. Good job, Adam.
Hey man, I'm
It's
pulling
not
the
like
strings.
I totally came in yesterday. I was like, you know what? Let's just be nice to Jack.
Yeah.
You know,
I appreciate
Jack's
it.
a nice guy. He lost some weight.
Pretty
He
slim.
needs some
What up,
muscle.
He
I
did it.
lost some
He did
weight?
it just.
Okay.
Damn.
You look slimmer than when you first got back.
Well, I've been eating. I like at school. I always eat 3 meals a day, like always, just because like it's there. It's like dining hall across the street. Like, oh, I'll get some food whenever I really want. So like, I definitely like filled out more at school. I think going into it in August, I was.
So wait,
like
basically what I'm hearing is your parents don't feed you.
No, I'm not saying I don't still eat 3 meals a day. It's just like,
Jesus, bro.
what the hell?
God
No. Just at school, I definitely ate more. Like, because it's right there, like food always.
No wonder why when I asked
still
him
have
to
3
come to
meals a
Athens with
day.
me, he was like, "Yeah, man, I'll go with Athens with you."
I live there. What do you mean? Of course I was wanting to go. But anyway, in August when I got there, I want to say I was like 150 pounds, and then,
I'm trying to get more than 150 at the
no,
moment.
I'm way more now. Like,
Really?
Because
I
also
can't-
at school,
I can't
was
gain
eating,
weight for shit.
Me either. I never could. And then until
can't
literally,
gain
I think
weight
you should
for
go.
shit.
You should go to some kind of campus or something. You'd fill out literally because you eat a lot more.
But I eat
And-
Jack. I eat hella.
No,
at the crib.
I thought I did too. I thought at my house, I thought I ate a ton, and then I got to school and I was like, yo, there's a dining hall across the street. I'm gonna eat a lot more. But I did that on top of going to the gym every single day, which I didn't do here. Like I worked out here, but it was mainly just like cardio stuff in my house
Yeah.
or like, you know, in high school with like sports or whatever.
Yeah.
I wasn't lifting weights literally every single day.
Right.
So that on top of eating more, I gained like 40 pounds in 2 months.
Oh wow, you dropped
I-
it to like 180,
I
190.
was 190 by the time I came home for the holidays.
Wow.
So it's not like you've been eating like trash.
No, not at all. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
All of it
I'm
eat- dude.
fine.
I hate when I go on these fast food streaks of like Taco Bell for like 7 days a week,
Me
and
too.
now I'm like, damn.
Yeah,
Like-
I used to not mind that because I would do that a lot here until I came back. Like I did it this past week a little bit, and I was just like, "Yo, I'm getting that does not feel good as much as it used to."
I have been stuck at 150 pounds since the beginning of senior year.
Me too. And
I-
then
I
I
just-
changed, but yeah,
Maybe I should go to college. Maybe I'll start
just
to actually gain
reached-
some
I
weight.
just reached 167. I was very proud of myself the other day.
fantastic.
Look at
Because
you.
throughout the time of me working in track, baseball, whatever the case may have been,
Right.
I still wasn't able to gain nothing.
Interesting. And baseball lifted a lot too, didn't they? Weren't
Yeah, we
y'all?
did.
Yeah.
But
Baseball is
I've
the most
Track's a lot of
pointless
cardio
sport.
though. You're
always
just
been
burning.
I
You're
was-
just burning
exactly
calories.
right back over again.
Right.
I've always been a skinny nigga. Never
I
been-
have always, I've always been kind of like lanky-ish too. Like
You know what I'm
slanky
saying?
skin. Yeah, no.
Now I'm trying to
definitely,
get a
I'm the
little
same.
bulked up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm trying to be a little skinny. Little
I'm like an
bit.
anime character.
You're just
Just
consistent.
yeah, just consistently like skinny-ish. I don't want to say tone because it sounds like I'm stroking my own dick, but
No, I'd agree with that.
um,
I've never heard that saying before. I've heard like hype myself up or like toot my own horn or whatever. I've never heard that. I'm gonna use that. I like that.
I just made that up too, so that'll be two of us.
Fantastic.
I don't know why it
Duffy
just popped in my
reminds
head,
It
but
reminds me of that one uncle that's at the family gatherings.
Your uncle, bro, not my uncle.
TJ's got a weird
I don't know
family.
what's
Dude.
going on with you. That one uncle, your uncle. Okay.
that just been drinking too much the entire time, and they so lit they just start saying shit.
Parsa, you
Oh, I thought you were gonna say they start stroking their dick. I was like,
no, that's what I was leaning
Dude,
towards too, and I was like,
I'm about to make an executive call and scrap this whole episode already.
why?
we'll bleep out the
Because you're
the
not
dicks.
talking enough.
No. All right, Jack, we got beef now.
But moving on to
My
We
whole
were
team-
good before.
No, I was about to ask you how. What are you looking forward to most in the holidays? Because earlier you were talking about, man, I don't care right now,
Yeah.
especially like COVID and stuff. You are not leaning towards the holidays. So why is that? Well, I mean,
I still don't. I never have a Christmas list. I never ask
Really?
my parents to get me anything. It's always like, if you guys get anything cool, I'm gonna expect my present, but like I'm not gonna be like, hey yo, PS5 coming out soon.
right?
It's never like that. So like
Yeah.
I just never like look forward to it. And it gets cold. I used to like fall weather, but it doesn't feel like fall anymore.
Today it's super rainy and just cold.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
just
awful
just
today.
looks
I
so
love it
sad.
today.
All right,
Really?
TJ.
Bro,
what-
what?
I think because I'm
Be
so used,
different
but
than
I think
us.
because I'm so used to being in Detroit. And we have,
yeah.
And
Michigan.
yeah, there's
Ooh.
snow. They've gotten snow October when we were sitting here chilling. They had a little bit of snow and it was cold up there, but they were chill. But
Right.
being here, I've always loved the rain and I've always loved the snow. And right now I'm not that cold, probably because I got a sweatshirt on. But like I'm chilling. You know
I
what I'm saying?
honestly, I didn't mind today either. Honestly,
was pretty
because like
cool.
it was wet and cold, but not as cold as I expected to be. Like I looked out the window and I was like, that looks miserable.
Oh,
Yeah, no.
definitely.
When I first woke up, like I was facing the window and I was like, damn, that gray sky looks extremely sad
Uh-huh.
for 10
Yeah.
in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Driving around today, like whether it's to get a TJ or like running errands before the
Yeah.
show, it looked like Dementors were about to come out of the sky.
Today's normally the day that you just rest in bed and just sleep.
Yeah.
That's what I
did.
normally do on-
I
on
did
rainy days
not
like
get
today.
up until I had to come here.
Hell yeah,
It's crazy. It's crazy to me too. Like Michigan and even states farther up north,
Yeah.
like Vermont and Maine, how they still have snow days.
Yes.
Because like they're being up there, they're prepped. Like a snow day here is not a snow day there,
Oh,
right?
Uh huh.
But there's still things that make them stay home from school.
Exactly.
You know what
'Cause
I just
going-
thought about?
Uh,
Imagine wanting it to snow, but school's not going to get canceled because it's on Zoom.
I saw that on TikTok. A lot of people have been talking about that recently. And that
That's some high school issues right there, man.
no,
like I don't
imagine-
think about that.
Imagine being in K through 12 public school right now.
I know
could
they're pissy.
not.
I know
Feels
they're
so
pissy.
bad. Feels so
Because
bad.
there are so many revelations happening right now. Like all these teachers are like, oh, I actually don't mind Zoom.
Yeah.
Oh, snow day? No. Get your laptop out.
Yeah, you're about to get this working.
I would hate that.
You're about to get this working. But
Fuck
up north,
that.
the only time they would cancel us like in school really is if they were not able to get the school parking lot and the main roads.
TJ, when did you move here?
Time. I moved here the ending of 11th grade year.
I moved here in 7th grade.
Really?
Yeah, the ending of 11th grade year.
Yeah, he was only here junior and senior year.
Pulled up senior year.
Yeah, literally.
Damn.
Oh, wow.
And I think we only had literally 3 months to end the school year off when I first got here. When I came in
Junior year.
Right. You came.
junior year, yeah.
No, but like your main year, your senior year got cut short too. So you really haven't like.
You didn't
You
experience.
barely got a year.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I did not
You know what I'm
realize
saying?
that.
Because I came here in 7th grade from Montana and Utah. So it's like at first, for the first few years, I did miss the cold and the snow a lot. But now it's like I'm fully used to the heat. I love it, like when it's hot here. And the same thing with snow days. I never had a snow day as a kid up until I came here. And in the 8th grade, it snowed like barely one day.
Was that when you guys all had to sleep in buses?
No.
Because I heard about that.
Me and
I heard about
Parsa-
that.
That was before I got
So
here.
based on what y'all just said, me and Parsa are the only ones who know about that. That remember in 6th grade?
Yeah, I had OSS, so I was at home.
Hell yeah, Parsa.
Did
Hell
you
yeah.
actually?
I was so mad. I was like, damn it, everybody's
Bro,
chilling at school. I'm at home.
It is one of the most vivid memories I have because in middle school for us, and you two when you came in 7th grade, there were 6 periods in a day, and 5th had just ended. And in my 5th block class, I will look out the window and there's like heavy snow coming, and all the kids see it, and we're like, it's 6th grade, so we're still basically like
Everybody's screaming.
Everyone's like losing it, right?
Yeah.
So we the bell rings, we go into 6th period, the last one, and kids are losing their minds. Everyone's beating on lockers. Teachers are yelling, like, what's going on?
Dude, people turn to like animals when like something like that happens.
Well, no.
Our middle school, bro.
Bro.
Dude, it would turn up real quick.
Bro, like, that was so strange because if I had to guess what time it was probably 3:20.
Yeah, it was around.
It was around then because school then got out at like 4:20, so it was about an hour before. And my 6th period teacher brought me in and was like shoveling kids she knew, just like, get into class, what's happening? And like she put on a movie immediately because she's like, nothing's gonna happen today. These kids are crazy. And in middle school, I usually rode the bus, even though I still lived pretty close to the middle school.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Right, yeah. And
Privilege.
okay.
Fucking
Okay.
hollering.
So
Parsa had to use a boat to get to school, man.
No, like actually.
he had to traverse the desert.
He
Really?
No, what?
I was gonna go with that and then I kept going. I was like, nah. But I go up to my 6th period teacher and I'm like, yo, I live kinda close. Can I just walk? And she's like, let me No, it was like heavy snowing, but I was like, I wasn't, because like I knew kids were gonna be there all night based on what I saw. I was like, this is not happening. So
Jack was big brain.
no, it gets worse. So she walks over to the principal. She's like straight up. He's like, hey, I got this kid. He lives close. Can he walk? And the principal like kind of knew me. So he's like, yeah, sure, whatever. And I'm like, sweet. And in 6th grade, I was a percussionist in band. So I had a giant case of drums and like a xylophone. A big thing. And I had to bring it home. No. It was like a suitcase. Like I had to roll it. It wasn't like
okay.
something
That made it easier on you.
right. Well,
In the snow.
not
In the
really.
snow,
You had
not
to carry
really.
that.
I mean, he didn't have all that. You know what I'm saying?
no.
He was able
That
to-
would have been better than having to
I'm-
roll with.
I walk out of school with my backpack, which is pretty big and full, and my giant percussion set, which I'm wheeling, and like I'm like in shorts because like beginning of the day it was kind of warm and like not really snowing, and then snowpocalypse hit.
Oh, y'all had that much snow.
Oh, it was like instant.
No, it was bad. Yeah,
It was weird.
It was pretty bad.
Parsa was at home. He got suspended, but whatever.
Right,
I
'cause when
honestly
he hit me with
I
that
didn't
shit,
know.
was
That's
like,
so
wow.
funny.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro. A lot of people just didn't know me until like 10th grade.
I
which
did.
is
I knew
okay.
you. I knew you. in
No,
elementary school.
I know you, but like,
Yeah, I knew of you. We weren't really
Yeah.
friends.
yeah. I forgot Jack was one of those kids. Big backpack, shorts every day. Doesn't matter the
No,
weather.
I wasn't.
Band.
No. I will say that like there
Jack
were a
was
lot
an
of
average
kids.
Jack back in the day.
Average Jack. Average me. It was funny too because I was walking down Holt Road with my
Bro.
giant stuff like in whatever, and kids who like would get picked up by their parents in their car were just stuck in dead still traffic, and they saw me and they were sending me pictures, and I'm like walking and my phone's blowing up with like these 2 kids. They took pictures of me walking with all my giant stuff in the snow, and they're like, "Is that you?" And I'm like, "Oh my god." So yeah, that's my story of Snowpocalypse. That's so I had no idea that you didn't see. It is such a vivid memory for me.
Dude, I just remember like my parents like spazzing out to go pick up my sister from like high school.
Yeah, because all the high school kids who took the bus were stuck on the bus because they
The
couldn't
bus
leave,
wasn't moving. Yeah.
which means and like middle school and high school share buses. So if the high school buses are stuck with high school kids, middle school doesn't have any buses. So they just slept
how
there.
long did kids like stay there?
Overnight. Like they were
overnight.
adults, I think, till like 11 a.m. that next morning.
Yeah, that's what my mom was telling me.
What did they feed them? See,
I don't know. I don't remember
I'm
that
surprised
much.
neither of us like got that experience. What was it? Was it just cafeteria food, or I remember
would
hearing
assume
Chick-fil-A.
so. I don't know. Because I remember I got home and like my mom was there and I was like, I kind of want to go back. It sounds fun. And she's like, are you crazy? You're not going to walk back in the snow just to have to
to hang
sleep
out.
at school. Like what? She was about
Jack
to
pulls
kill
up
me.
with a slumber party pack.
I got my sleeping bag. I got my snacks. That
Dude,
would be fun. I would do that too. In
I've
sixth grade.
I've walked
They
to
would've been
school
pretty
trudging through a
salty,
foot and a
though.
half of snow, like up to the knee. Like I used to live like a mile and a half from my school when I lived in Montana. It was a foot and a half of snow.
Literally.
I just have to walk there.
Literally.
See, I have two.
And we wouldn't even. I didn't even have on like a snowsuit or nothing.
Oh, we were
Just-
prepared out there.
See,
Really?
I have two big regrets about middle school. One, I got in trouble way too early. Two, I didn't get in trouble enough. See, I feel like I should
Interesting.
have just been an idiot. Like
No.
7th and
Oh,
8th
you
grade.
didn't like go like to either side. You just sort of like.
Yeah, I just got in trouble once, and I was like, okay, I'm done.
I got suspended in elementary school quite a few times. Quite a few
a
times.
couple times.
I'm
after
the only
that.
one
you
here.
You had to be really bad to get suspended in our
But
elementary school.
elementary.
Yeah.
Like,
People used to.
There was
test,
only a handful of people that ever got
Nah,
suspended.
people used to test me. in
Well,
elementary
TJ, I
school.
mean, people would bring like what, like
Whoa, Adam, be careful. Be careful now.
paraphernalia to school.
There's one time in middle school,
People
this
got that
girl,
thing on.
this girl she did get kicked out because she had cigarettes and weed in her locker.
Let's fucking
In elementary
go.
school?
Middle school.
Middle school. Okay,
That-
that's more understandable.
That's expected. Elementary
Yeah.
school, I got suspended first time. I was in the cafeteria. Never forget this. This dude took my chicken nuggets
And TJ
off
lost
my
it.
lunch tray.
You killed him.
Pushed that nigga out his seat. Then this girl took my milk, so I opened it up and I poured it on her fucking head. Like, oh, you about to take my shit
You
without
were that
asking
kid.
me?
You were the annoying kid. who
I'm sitting with a bunch
made
of
mess.
psychopaths, dude.
No, my thing is don't touch my shit when I'm walking away, because if I was to do that to you, you wouldn't like it.
Dude, all I'm thinking about right now is this is gonna be Jack's first time editing, and he's gonna
I'm
be
just
with
going
his
back
little
and forth, back and
timer,
forth.
just like
Yeah.
spazzing out.
I
trying
am
to
going
do
to
this.
time it.
I'm the only one here who hasn't had disciplinary action taken against him in school.
It's true.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I would have had that streak in like just high school, but senior year,
You never got in trouble in high school?
I never got until like last year by that one literature teacher.
High school, I chilled out. My 10th grade year, I would say, was my worst high school year, because I used to we were wild.
No one really likes their 10th grade year. That's kind of unanimous.
Really?
Mine was kind of my highlight.
I didn't mind it. Like I enjoyed
And
it.
the crazy part was, I was in don't take this wrong, but I was in the PWI high school, Chippewa Valley in Detroit. That's mainly, where the privileged kids go. But my mom was like, we're gonna send you to a better school, because Detroit schools they're really shitty.
Okay.
So that was the school I got more trouble in. Then I ended up going to East Detroit before I moved to Georgia. And even though it was real ghetto and ratchet, everybody was on chill mode. Nobody was really trying to jump off as much as the suburban African-American kids were.
I mean, that's kind of how it is here.
You know what's
too.
interesting is that a lot of the times, like what leads to like, I mean, it's mainly for like a society, but like in a society, but also can you scale that
Yes.
down to a school? What leads to more like disruptions and more, crime, so to speak, like crime in a real society, but then just like disruptions in a school. It's not like just like overall like poverty or lesser like economic standing. It's
Yeah.
like relative
It is.
poverty. So it's like when like different economic brackets of people are together in a society or in a school,
Exactly.
that can lead to a lot more altercations, because
Exactly.
there's a certain dynamism to that student
is.
body or that group of people that
and you're trying
lead to that.
and you're trying to collab them together.
like in our high school,
Yep.
like we had a big like shit. We had a lot of different groups of people in our high school. And so when you look at a school that's like all like really, rich people living like a few miles north of us, they're
Totally different.
like not a whole lot of disruptions compared to our school. And it's not like, and I think it's mainly because that a lot of the people in that school are in a very similar
Yeah.
group, while our school is very varied in all
Yeah.
different ways.
But you'd go there and it'd be like people popping off at the mouth for no reason. Like you'd literally just be sitting in the hallway, and then 5 seconds later, all you hear is somebody either falling down the stairs or they getting tagged right next to you, and then
Wow.
you gotta move. It was crazy. But we had security at the front door for a good minute. So they put that shit on lock. I ain't even go. They put that shit on lock for a good minute.
Parsa, what happened your senior year? I can't remember.
Just basically, I was on my phone. I don't know why. Like, it was literally, she hated me, and then we had a parent-teacher conference, and I was on the other side of the bracket. Yeah.
Yeah, I had heard similar things from, whatever.
We just got off on a bad foot.
Yeah, I can
Like, we
understand.
just
I mean,
got off.
that's true with, like, their student-teacher relationships are always up in the air, how they're going to be.
Mine were pretty tight.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, no other teacher, like, disliked me.
That's true,
other
that's
than
true.
her.
I was
Like,
cool. I was cool with all my teachers for the
Yeah.
most part. My junior year, I got suspended twice.
I didn't have a problem until our first hour.
Were you in that class with me?
I was
When?
first block, senior year.
No, that was math.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I didn't get in trouble in math.
I did.
Really?
Yeah, he's like, I'm not talking about you.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about me. Yeah. She got pissy because I came to school late and then I had to leave again for a track. Remember we had to leave early for the track meet?
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up leaving class. I came in, gave her my pass.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next day, I think I was on my phone for a good minute too. But she popped off. She was like, "Can I speak to you in the hallway, please?"
Dude,
Wow.
I remember one day in that class, and it was just awful.
That's the same. That's pretty much the same thing as him. Relationship just wasn't right. Wasn't on the same page.
But I never did nothing to her. Like, I
Yeah,
would never
and,
speak to her. I'd
9
come
times out of
in,
10, that's how it is.
come in, I'd turn my work in and be chill. That was the only time I would come in late and be like, all right, I gotta come. I'm leaving, but I just wanted to let you know that I'm here and I'm
Right.
coming to get my work. Like, in case there's any work that I gotta do today, pass it up because I'm not gonna be in your class today.
Right.
I just had one problem with her, is why wouldn't she just leave me alone? We'd be in the computer lab, everybody would be done, and nobody's just going to sit there and read a book, bro. Everybody's going to be on their phone. I'm on my phone, the guy next to me is on the phone, the one to my right's on their phone, everybody and their mom is on their phone.
You want to come and talk to me? Okay. You gonna
Anyways.
take your ass on
TJ, sometimes you bleep yourself when you curse.
I think I just noticed that. I love that. I think it's kind of cool. It's kinda
I
funny.
know.
It's like an auto correct, but
It is because certain things I can't catch it in time. It just comes out, but then sometimes I can catch myself.
Because it sounds like I'm watching a video where they bleep it, and because I'm like hearing it in my headphones, I'm like, did you do that? Did you like mute his mic for half a second? I'm like, I think that's really cool.
I have quick hands.
All right.
So Parsa,
Yeah,
you and me.
LeBron's going to 3-peat.
Right out the gate. Right out the
Wait,
gate.
I love how.
What I was gonna say was you and me specifically know a little bit about basketball.
I
We're
love how
gonna
you
talk
started
about
off the
that.
conversation.
So yeah, so LeBron's gonna 3-peat with the
Yeah.
with the Lakers because
Yeah.
he recently just signed a 2-year contract with them.
AD signed a 4-year contract? So AD's
It was either 4 or 5, but I think
Yeah.
it was 4.
he signed a long-term contract. He's going
Yeah.
to be there.
I
Dude, the
honestly,
roster is better than it was last year.
I honestly can agree with that. I can agree with that because I think LeBron. I don't know if he's gonna 3-peat because if you think about it, a ton of talent went to the East versus staying in the West.
But nobody's going to talk about that because it's LeBron and he...
Right. I'm saying, but what I'm saying is, the Nets, for example, are going to be a huge contender next year. Honestly, if I had to predict it, it's going to be Lakers and Nets in the finals.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't think... I don't think Bucks are going to make it either. Bucks...
No, because Giannis is kind of lagging. Did he get MVP this year?
Yeah.
He
He got
should-
MVP and Defensive Player of the Year.
I feel like next year he's going to start going on a decline, just a small one.
Really?
I feel like he's still going to be an amazing player, but he's gotten a lot of attention. I feel like it's going to be more of a mental thing than a physical thing.
I just feel like that Giannis is just 7 foot tall and he just runs and dunks.
Right, he's got a great build.
Don't get me wrong. Like, he's a certified bucket getter until they build a wall.
Have you seen all his rivalry stuff with Harden?
Harden? Yeah, no, those are
I
the funny-
love those
dude,
compilation
those are hilarious.
videos. James Harden and Greek Freak are always going at each other.
But realistically speaking, LeBron's not on a decline.
No, not at all.
Okay,
His prime level, I say he's at his prime right now.
Mhm.
Or maybe a few years ago he was. But it's kind of, if he hit his prime, let's say 3 or 4 years ago, it hasn't gone down. It's stayed horizontal. I have to say.
he's flatlined
He's consistent,
right now.
right.
And he's just nonstop. And I think he's going to load manage a lot earlier in the season because it's starting so soon. Like, teams have had months, damn near a year, to, like, as an off season, and LeBron's had, 2 months?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just won't slow down. And, I mean, like, I know you guys don't really talk about or know as much as basketball, but you know enough about LeBron to realize that he's like he's just gene pool makeup.
I'm very excited.
Is
for
he
him.
like he's like a good player, right?
Yeah, you know, he's
Yeah,
this
you can
kid.
say that.
He's got like he played for the Cavaliers, you know, and then he played for
Cleveland.
Are they from Colorado?
Cleveland.
I think
Ohio.
so.
Wait,
No.
Cleveland, Colorado.
Cavaliers.
Wait, what?
We're doing a joke. We're doing a bit. It was
No,
funny.
I'm just fucking with
Okay,
you.
I'm like, bro,
Parsa's
what?
like
I did too. I said Cleveland.
they
Cavaliers,
didn't
you
catch
mean?
on to
I'm
it.
sorry.
But no, yeah, I think LeBron overall is just an insane athlete.
He is.
Because he played football in high school.
He is
too.
crazy. He is crazy.
There was an interview with him like a year or two ago where he was like, "Yeah, I'd be in the NFL right now if I didn't want to do basketball."
Some
Oh, dude,
some
he
men
could-
are just
he could
built.
retire right now and go.
Yeah,
Like
he could pull a Michael Jordan and
Yeah,
go play
it's
baseball.
not a joke. But honestly, I just feel like the roster is a lot better, and it was already pretty good last year. But they got a lot younger.
Who besides AD is going to be with him? Because the Lakers will obviously go to having LeBron for the next 2 years. They will definitely go to the playoffs next 2 years,
Undoubted.
undoubted. But who's going to be there to help him?
Okay, here's the starting lineup. I'm thinking. At point, it's gonna be LeBron probably.
Okay,
They're probably gonna run him point again. If they don't, it's gonna be Dennis Schroeder. You seen the guy?
Dennis Rodman.
No, Dennis Schroeder. Get out. Dennis Schroeder at point. KCP at the 2. Who do we got? LeBron's gonna play small forward, obviously.
Who's
80
centering?
at power forward. Center, they just signed Marc Gasol.
oh, that's right.
I'm pretty sure that's the only center they have on the roster, so which is a little
Yeah.
awkward. So that's the only spot that they're actually lacking on. They don't have a good center, but they got Montrezl Harrell coming off the bench, easy money. Alex Caruso, he might become a starter.
Really?
I think he might be a starter. I've seen some clips this year. I mean, it is an open gym,
Yeah.
but guy's working. He's a demon too.
Parsa knows what's up though. He's
Yeah.
got the insider information.
yeah. He's always got
Kyle
that
Kuzma, get rid of him. I don't care. He's useless.
they traded him, didn't they? Or
No.
they're trying to trade him?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they just kept him and they played him a lot
Yeah.
while LeBron and AD are resting just to
Mhm.
get his trade value up and then trade him then. But that would be it, pretty
And
much.
I know we can talk about the Lakers and LeBron all day because you've got the Kobe jersey. You're a Lakers and LeBron fan, obviously.
Yep.
But I mean, that brings up the question, like I said earlier, of because the Lakers are in the Western Conference, and a ton of talent is leaving the Western Conference, so they don't have to play LeBron in the finals. Just all that talent went to the East because those are like the two sides. Like
Mhm.
they all.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't really know basketball playoffs, like the West and the East all kind of just play each other until it's the finals.
Yeah.
East and West best team. So all the people in the West who were
Like-
good.
Like rappers.
Yeah.
Like Outkast versus Big Sean. Not Biggie.
And yeah. Exactly. West Coast, East Coast.
I'm cultured, it's
yeah,
whatever.
Totally. So all that talent, because they didn't want to play LeBron in early levels of playoffs in the West, we're just going to go own the East and then get him in the finals. But, I mean, the Nets already had a ton of talent. They were just out because of injuries and COVID and a million reasons. But this next year, they're going to be pretty dominant.
I really hope COVID doesn't destroy the season. Like it's kind of
I
doing
doubt
with
it will.
football.
I doubt it. Well, they might try another bubble, but that's also a great point. COVID did destroy the NFL.
Yeah,
and football
like
this year.
I'm like I don't keep up with football at
Me
all. But
either.
like,
But
all
I
my-
know enough to know that it's
yeah,
messed up.
all my friends are like playing fantasy and they're like, dude, like they're bringing like
Mhm.
practice squad QBs.
Yeah, my fantasy team, I think the second week was just destroyed, gone because of just injuries. It came back a little bit, but still not much.
Yeah, but I think overall Lakers are set up for a three-peat. And if people don't talk about it now,
It's-
they will when they go back to back. Because
If they win next year's final, it will definitely be talked about. Like, oh, what if they got 3 in a row? But while they do have an all-star lineup, it's a little optimistic. Because think about the Warriors in 15 to 18, I think it was those two.
the
3
Warriors
years.
the Warriors aren't going to take care of the Lakers.
No. I'm not saying this year. I'm talking about because the Warriors never got a three-peat.
Yeah. They just struggled. I mean, they just
struggled.
they got destroyed at the end because they would have had a three-peat if one, LeBron didn't come back from a 3-1 lead.
Right.
Two, if their whole starting lineup didn't get destroyed
Right.
by injuries. They would have had a three-peat. They would have probably had 4 in a row, if
Yeah.
not 5. But overall, just nobody's going to take care of them. I just don't feel like anybody's going
The
to compare
Lakers?
to them. Yeah.
I think the Lakers and Warriors are going to put up a pretty good fight this year.
Maybe.
I mean, because everyone's talking about like, oh, everyone's sleeping on the Warriors because they went away a while ago because like all the reasons you said, but they're gonna be back this year for the most part. Steph
Really?
Curry, yes.
Steph's good. Yeah, I mean, dude, he's been like practicing for what a whole straight year.
Yeah.
So who
They've
knows
had,
what
they've
he
had
has in
off
his
time
bag
of
now?
just
Yeah.
literally hooping.
Yeah.
Whatever they want to do.
Yeah, whatever they want to practice. So there's no way he's gonna come back. And I think Steph is like honestly one of the most underrated people.
Yeah.
Like they just won't give him the respect because he just won so much.
One of my favorite things about the NBA is city jerseys. Have you been looking at the new ones this year?
I just saw the Lakers one.
Yeah.
That was it. And
It is one of my
Hawks got a new jersey.
city jerseys are basically kind of like a do your own jersey, like one to reflect your city or your colors. Like this year, the Hawks have like an MLK one for Atlanta. You know? It's kind of just like they're called city jerseys because it represents where you're from. And
That is
It's
tight.
like what the team like pays homage to kind of
Right,
for the year.
exactly.
Like last year it was the Mamba jersey, or they made it the Mamba jersey. I think it was they made one for Shaq LA, and then that jersey was honestly god awful and ugly. But 2 seasons ago they had a Mamba jersey, which was like a snakeskin black jersey, which was pretty cool, but they brought it back and then they won a chip with it. Easy money.
because I think if I had to pick my favorite jerseys among sports, it's basketball. Because I'm a huge jersey guy. I like have I don't know how many I have, but all the Atlanta teams and plus.
Yeah.
And I think basketball jerseys are the most fun because while I'm a Hawks fan, it's different because I'm not going to wear a different baseball team's jersey. I will only wear a Braves jersey for the most part. But for basketball,
I'll wear
anyone if it looks good, especially
like
with city jerseys, because city jerseys are almost designed for people to like, because they look so unique. It's not just team colors, your name and a number. It's something. It's like something to have.
And they always have like some really nice ones.
They're always so nice.
Brooklyn
Yeah.
had one a few years back that was super nice when D'Lo was there. OKC had one nice last year.
And I have a D Wade Miami one.
Do you think basketball, like what you were saying, how you wouldn't wear like a different baseball team or a different football team's jersey? Do you think like basketball is like the sport that has the most like fans like of different places? Because I mean, like everybody likes like you guys, you know, we're both from here, but you know, we're talking about like the Cavs and the Lakers, like, and it's a lot of people around the country that aren't from either of those states. But I can see how other sports, major league sports, people are more tied to like their home.
I would say, based off what you're saying, that yes, basketball has its own sports culture, like baseball, like football, like whatever, diehard fans, whatever.
Yeah.
But it also has its own form of pop culture, where it's involved with hip hop. It's involved with
such an
sneakers.
iconic.
Right. It's
I remember
sports, but it's also pop
I had a
culture.
Kobe jersey before I watched the game of basketball. I had
Yeah.
a Kobe jersey, and my friend gave it to me in 6th grade.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't start watching basketball until like sophomore year of high school.
Yeah. I was kind of the same way.
I had the Kobe jersey hung up
Yeah.
in my room for no reason.
Because it went from basketball went from it just being kind of a sports culture to kids who were just involved in sports culture wanting to wear stuff that their favorite athletes wore.
Yep.
That turned into them wearing that stuff every day, kind of morphed into its own pop culture and its own fashion culture, sneakers culture, hip hop culture. It's all
Yeah, like bro, if I
like
ever,
baseball and football don't really have that.
if I ever become like Lil Baby, I'm just gonna be walking around with a basketball jersey and chains on.
Yeah, because they're all so, like jerseys specifically for the NBA are so unique and so well done. And baseball is kind of stepping up a little bit.
They
Like
are.
Yeah, I
they-
feel like baseball is a great second.
baseball, yeah, for sure. Because there's I think like 6 different Braves jerseys they rotate through, like they wear on the field, and I have them all because I just love the Braves and I work for them and all that stuff. But football, I don't know, man. The NFL really needs to get their act together because I know nothing about football for the most part. Like I do, like I have a fantasy team, and I
I'm
know
surprised. You were the average band kid. You didn't watch football.
I was not an average band kid. I was not in band in high school. Band kids are
You
when
wore
say-
shorts in the winter.
That was one time where the day earlier it was warm. That's Georgia weather.
Okay, he's
Adam.
wearing sweatpants today.
Okay, yeah, I am wearing sweatpants right now, but
I'm wearing shorts.
yeah,
Dude,
weird,
it is
weird,
cold
weird how
down
that
here.
works, Adam.
I'll shut up.
But I feel like because football, there are just so many players on the field, and we've talked about this before. I think, Parsa, there are just so much things to follow. When like, I don't know, and NFL, I just feel like their office and their industry is just really not well done because there's like it's just weird. Like baseball players, they're chill. They don't have any like problems.
I don't know what it is about the NFL.
It just turns me off.
I don't feel like I'm ever gonna get invested.
I've
because-
always loved the NFL, but this season, I'm gonna get a little personal here because being from Detroit,
Lions.
I love the Lions.
Yeah.
I've always been a diehard Lions fan. But this year they actually fired the coach and the general manager.
I saw that.
So they're in a little bit of a frenzy, and I'm praying to God that since because I've always thought the new coach they've had has been the reason as to why they've been so. Excuse me, any of my Detroit people that are watching, but I'm gonna say it. The Lions have been pretty much ass, and we know this.
It's funny too because you say that, but you can make that argument for almost every NFL team.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you think about it, like if you think of an NFL team, oh, they're probably trash.
Yeah.
Because like the Lions, the Bengals,
Yes.
I'd say the majority of NFL teams are bad than they are good.
And
Which
Lions.
is weird to say,
Yeah,
I
but
feel like
in my head, that's like my first
pretty.
instinct.
I feel like
That's pretty believable.
it is kind of like basketball, at least like from my perception, because like you're talking about like the major teams, like with like the Cavs and the Lakers, and then like same thing with football. You think about the Patriots and
Yes.
No, I mean
Literally,
don't
no.
get me
If
wrong.
you're a
Don't-
casual sports fan,
don't-
Patriots and who? Literally.
maybe the Packers, maybe
Yeah.
like
Don't get me wrong. Basketball is competitive. I'm just saying LeBron's that much better than everybody. Like that's the whole point. Like I can name all the contenders from the East. I think Boston's gonna be there. Miami's gonna come back. Nets obviously. Philly hopefully.
I'd like to see Philly do good.
Yeah,
I'd be happy to see
I
that.
would too. But I think they're definitely gonna have to trade Simmons or Embiid. I think trade Embiid, keep Simmons, build around Simmons.
Yeah.
you always have those figures in each like major league sport that like kind of transcend their sport more than anything else and are like less of like athletes as much as they are just like icons in like a pop culture, like LeBron James for the NBA, or trying to think of like really popular like football or baseball players that sort of like are really well known. I mean,
It's funny how you can't.
Eli.
Odell.
That's
It's
what it
funny
is
how
funny.
we're talking
But then,
about.
like,
It's funny how you can't.
You got like Conor McGregor, the UFC fighter. I mean,
Right.
like he's the most famous fighter in the world, and most people like in relative to his popularity don't watch the UFC. And you know, it is just interesting to see like
I
how
feel like
everyone and every generation, you know, it seems like there's one people that like float to the top in each of these sports.
once you get to this popularity level of like, damn, I made it. Like once Odell caught that one ball, that was the peak.
After
broke
that,
him
he
through
was
the
just
pop,
like, yeah.
That could be him.
Everyone, like, I remember for a year straight, people would be throwing the football and go like this.
I didn't even know who he was,
No,
but when
I
I was
didn't
when I was
either.
with my friends, they were like Beckham, and I was like,
No, they'd be like, oh, OBJ. Like, they'd say that and try and catch. Like how you say Kobe when you shoot. Like, that's almost to the point it was just because he made one catch like that, where he was like this. And now he does it all the time. When he tries to.
Is he even good? We wouldn't know.
I honestly, like, again, I share a fantasy team with my roommate, and we've been in the same team for like 2 or 3 years now. And like every year I try and follow it and I try and get into it, but it's just so difficult because there's so many players and so many injuries and so much news. Like, feel like for fantasy and NFL overall, you have to be all in or it's just impossible.
Yeah.
Like, because for baseball and basketball, it's just more casual. Like, you don't have to be your whole Twitter feed doesn't have to be news all the time to still follow it and know enough about it. For me, the Braves and the Hawks for the most part.
That's fair.
I follow 3 basketball accounts and I get all my.
You get all your info exactly.
like following football teams, just reminders like constantly. Like this player got injured, he'd be out for like 2 games.
Yeah.
It's like I could see that flooding your feed. You know, just unable to keep track of it unless you were dedicated.
And I can agree with you. To answer your question, for baseball, it's probably, I don't know, the Yankees player Aaron Judge, and for football, it's probably Tom Brady, even though he doesn't play for the Patriots anymore.
Eli Manning was in all those All-State
Eli Manning and
commercials.
Peyton Manning, yeah,
They were pretty popular, yeah.
but
the twins.
it is people like that, and LeBron also. It gets to a point where they're their sport. That's like, oh, Peyton Manning, Patriots football. Oh,
Yeah.
LeBron, best basketball player ever. Oh, whatever. But like, it's there's the line between pop culture and who you are versus your sport is it's very blended now. There's not really a strict what you are anymore, which is interesting and cool. I kind of like it. I think social media's had a big part of that too.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, because even when social media, I feel like social media just gives a lot of people that don't deserve it. Like
Clout.
yeah, it's just like, because once you break through that point, even as an athlete, like you're pretty much set for life. Like Odell's never gonna go broke.
There have been a lot of, and I can think of specifically NFL players. I was about to say a lot of athletes, but NFL players who blow their entire bank account in like 2 years. And
It's
then,
hard not to.
Gronkowski was heavily in debt for a few years a while back.
Yeah, and then he like shaped up, and now he's like an investor and all this stuff. I saw that.
uh-huh.
Yeah, which whatever. But
Same with like baseball players. They get
Okay,
paid at the
hold on.
wazoo,
Yeah.
and they also
Hold on.
like
Wait a
spend pretty
minute.
flippantly.
Speaking of financial, am I
Are you?
a dependent of my parents going to get a stimulus check this time?
That's the thing, man. Like
that's a great question.
I
like
need
the
it.
the last one had all these like you didn't get the last one, right? Because you're like in the mix where you're not your own adult, but you're also not a dependent of your, and also it was like 16 and under. If like you get payments based on how many kids you have that are 16 and younger, and you also have to be in a certain income bracket. And honestly, I kind of didn't like how many conditions they had to slap onto it because it just made it all very convoluted. You know,
Yeah, it was so difficult when it didn't.
like universality is just like the best policy to approach those
There
things
you
with.
go.
Just
there
like
you go.
Give it to everybody.
yeah, and I mean like, sure it'll cost money, but like, as he would say, you know, when there's a fire in your house, you don't worry about how much water you're using to put it out.
And Parsa, it's funny because I'm labeled as dependent too. I didn't get my stimulus check. You and me both were working when
Yeah.
all that stuff happened.
I didn't get one either. Yeah,
Well, you were still working then, weren't you?
no,
No,
Oh.
he quit his job.
but like
man.
unemployment and the stimulus checks were in different avenues. Like you didn't have to be employed.
Right. But I didn't get it, and I wasn't expecting to get it because I'm labeled as a dependent. It's not gonna happen. But then I get in the mail one day. This is like because the stimulus check thing happened in what of this year, like April when everyone got them, April, May-ish,
May-ish,
around
yeah.
then. It is like July. Like it's like 3 weeks before I'm going to school. I get a debit card in the mail, and they're like, "Hey, this is your stimulus check,"
What?
and $1,500 on it.
What?
And I was like,
whoa,
"Where did this come from?
Wait a minute.
Where did this
huh?
come from?"
Hold on. No, actually,
And-
wait a minute.
No,
wait,
We're the same age,
Stop.
same
I
like
don't know how it
situations.
worked because I have 2 jobs technically. I was
Okay.
employed by the Braves, and the Braves are I'm filed as a dependent
Right.
with them. But I also am a server at Mellow Mushroom, where I'm also labeled as a dependent. But I think where like the Mellow Mushroom they didn't mess up anything here. I think like the government like confused or something, or they like I don't know if it was a mistake or not, but
They messed up.
either they messed up or there is some law that like I'm like bypassing it somehow. But I had a debit card with a stimulus check on it.
Interesting.
dude.
Do you remember when I came to Publix and I said I have a bunch of cash in my hand? That was me getting money from that account, like
Well,
straight cash. So
I
I
know-
put it in my own bank account.
I know most of them they tried like for like
That was
most
smart.
normal people it was
That was
it was
very
like
smart.
it was a transfer into their bank account.
Yeah.
And things like physical things like checks or debit cards were given out in like secondary rounds where they were trying to pick
Yeah, it
people they
took a lot
missed.
longer. Yeah.
I still don't know why I got it. And someone else at Mellow Mushroom got it with me. And like we asked our managers, we asked like corporate, and they were like, we don't know.
Dude, I would not ask if.
No. We just brought it up because we were like, because we didn't want to take it if it was a mistake, because then we get taxed for it and whatever.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
So we just wanted to make it was clear, and they were like, "You're good, I guess." It was weird. Like no one knew what happened. And I still don't.
I think this year I'm getting taxed as an independent,
Okay.
just because. I mean, I don't know.
I mean,
don't
there's a big chance stimulus checks are gonna happen again.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they should have happened already, dude.
I agree. They should have happened already.
See, I feel like I don't realize it because I think COVID's fake, and I feel like nobody else is struggling. But I feel like people are struggling.
Definitely.
Still.
People
Yeah.
are dying. People are struggling for
Yeah.
sure. And like I agree, stimulus checks should happen, but at the same time, there are a ton of people who are just sitting on that check and like, I don't want to go back to work. I got this check and I'm doing fine with
Dude,
it.
the amount of people that use.
Well, I mean, it's like unemployment. I mean, is like paying people like regularly. Sometimes in some cases, like I have friends who are getting paid more from or at least were getting paid more from unemployment than their job was.
Yeah.
But for the stimulus checks, I mean, that's just like a one-off thing. You know, $1,500 or so.
Well,
I think that.
the reason I say that was because I would be waiting tables in the middle of COVID, and you know, like people would want to start a conversation.
Dog, I
Like-
was bagging groceries.
no back groceries too. I know.
I was
but-
in the front lawn.
But like I'm sure you were talking to people too.
Yeah.
Right? They would ask me when I'm bringing them food or whatever. They'd be like, "Oh, so did you get a stimulus check?" And I'm like, "No, I'm labeled as a dependent." And we start talking about it or whatever. And these would be like people. They would tell me like what they do and stuff. And they're businessmen. They're people who have like legit jobs, not
Yeah.
like you and me, who are
Yeah.
like shifted jobs. They
Yeah.
have salaries. They
Yeah.
have stuff like that. And they were saying that their stimulus check is like I'm working from home right now with my job, but like I don't really need to because like I don't really want to be there. I probably won't go back for a while. And I was like, that's really interesting to me. Like someone with like a legit career and salary is banking off their stimulus check enough to where they just don't want to, or not that I mean obviously they don't want to, but they just won't because it's better how it is right now.
Yeah.
Because that was a whole headline, right? Was people were struggling or like businesses were struggling because their employees didn't want to come back.
Well, yeah, a lot of offices are realizing that like they don't lose a lot of productivity from their people working from home, and I mean they don't have to like have their buildings that they pay for a lot of money, that they pay a lot of money for. So it's like a lot of them are thinking like maybe when this is all over, we'll start to, like reduce the amount of people that come into our buildings, like so we don't have to like keep them on as much like permanently.
That sucks, bro. I hate.
It is stupid because it's like
Yeah.
sure it's like less expensive, and in this moment people are working, like are still working at like somewhat the same productivity, but like once this is all over, people are like there's a certain aspect of like working an office job and going somewhere that people I feel like need in a certain sense, like doing online
Definitely.
school. It's a very similar thing.
That's a great example. Online school, I
never
feel like I haven't
succeed.
learned anything.
Yeah, I feel I'm never going to succeed in this type of like work environment.
Because I know I have learned stuff, but it doesn't feel like I have. Like
It's,
I'm
it's
just,
not like
I'm,
we're
look, I'm looking
obtaining
for
or
checks.
retaining any
I'm
of the
clicking
information
exactly.
we're getting. At this point, we're just doing the work just to get through it and just to get through the day.
Yeah,
we're
like
not
I'm
obtaining any information.
I'm gonna have good grades at the end of this.
Oh,
Because it's
definitely.
like easy, and I'm also like trying a little bit, but like it's not like college is half the learning.
like-
It's like I'm not.
Like I'm thinking about it. I'm like, okay, I'm a psychology major. I'm just now reading my first chapter, week 15.
Yeah.
Like, how am I supposed to like get a degree in this when I can't learn it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sure, I get a patient. I'm gonna be on Google. I'm gonna be looking it up because I don't
YouTube
know what I'm
tutorials.
doing. Yeah, like,
How to console somebody who's
and we're talking about doctor stuff.
No, yeah. Like people joke about it a
Yeah.
lot, but it's also kind of serious. Like kids in med school right now.
they see Parsa Pahlevankah graduated 2024 or
You
something.
got
and
your medical degree in 2020? Oh, for real? Oh, I'm gonna see you later.
I'll
though.
stitch myself
Yeah,
up. Don't
I got
worry.
it. Don't worry about it.
I'm gonna go out of district for this one.
You know what I'm saying?
I know you're cheaper, but like
That's awful.
I missed yesterday's training at Emory because of our group activity. I thought it's usually the second and third week of the month, but it snuck up on me.
Dang, I kind of feel bad.
It's fine. It wasn't the cool group of people.
Oh,
Oh,
They're split into-
there's groups of people.
They're split into two divisions, and
okay.
the second half is nicer to me. The other half doesn't even talk to me.
Talking about like doctors and stuff coming out of this year that's going to be kind of permanent later on made me think of this thing. I saw a headline yesterday that all Warner Brothers movies for the 2021 schedule will be not only in theaters but also on HBO Max.
I'm blessed to have HBO Max at this point.
I do not have that.
Straight to streaming.
Straight to streaming the same day it goes to theaters.
Interesting.
So you can pay $10 a month, however much HBO Max is, for a family of 4 to watch whatever movie is brand new, or pay like $50 because family of 4 going to the movies is around $50 now.
I haven't gone to the movies since Abby, the fourth child, was born because it's too expensive
That
for
is
us to go.
so like that's sad, but also movie theaters going away is sad
Oh, it is.
because
It is brutal how
that when you talk about like box office results and like how much money they made, that's from the movie theater.
Yeah.
And the fact that like that whole format is going to change eventually, because if Warner Brothers is doing it, everyone's going to do it.
They
all
are.
all of Disney's movies are going to be on Disney Plus the same day they go to theaters.
Oh yeah.
Like it's
Yeah, like
crazy. to
Like
me.
Mulan.
I guess that didn't even get released in theaters though, right? Mulan, that just got straight to
Yeah,
Disney.
it got straight to Disney.
And it's
Plus.
like now that we're not to calculate box office without this many theaters, we're gonna have to start looking at like how much did viewership on this streaming service increase when
Right.
this movie was released,
Yeah.
and it's just it just loses a lot of the character to it. And I'm fine with like changes like this over time, but it feels like
It's
it
very
wasn't its time. It
strange.
wasn't its time to go out in theaters.
Not at all.
I feel like it just sped up a process that wasn't supposed to happen ever.
right.
You sound just like that guy right there.
Movie theaters got double whammied in the fact that 1, COVID, 2,
Movie production.
movie
Movie
production.
production.
Well, not even movie production, but 2 being movies being on streaming
Mhm.
because like
As long as Batman comes out good, I don't care.
dude, that you talking about with the Twilight guy Batman?
with Robert Pattinson.
Dude, he's gonna be a good Batman, bro.
That
He's a
looks-
great
He's
actor.
gonna
looks
be
good.
better than Ben Affleck. I hated his Batman.
He
I
didn't
hated
feel like
everything.
Batman.
I hated everything about Ben Affleck. playing
That
Batman.
movie will be on HBO Max day one because
Okay. I'll
because studios are realizing that
be there with.
We're watching
30
it together.
I'll be there with
No,
a
I'll
30-day
watch it.
free trial.
no, literally,
On
I have
me.
HBO Max.
Yeah, let's hop
I
in
do
my
too.
living room and watch it.
Yeah, let's do it.
We got this, Jack.
Why are we talking that? We all have it. We only need one.
Oh.
We only need one subscription.
But yeah, it'll be on HBO Max, and studios have realized that if people sign up for, let's say it's $10 a month to watch that movie, there's a good chance they're not going to cancel it. Because like theoretically, yes, a family of 4 could pay for 1 month, watch their movie, and cancel it, and they
Yes.
would not make as much money as the studio would want to. But I mean, you're not gonna cancel it. Because you're gonna watch that movie and you're gonna be like, oh, I have HBO Max. Let's see what's all on here. Oh my God, all this.
And
stuff's on
they
here. This is
have
gonna
a
be great.
lot of options,
Dude.
a lot of good options at that.
Yeah, and it's not even just HBO. It's gonna be Disney Plus. It's gonna be Netflix.
Exactly.
It's
It
all
doesn't
gonna
matter,
be
bro. Entertainment is crazy.
upside down right now.
Dude.
It is bonkers.
It's
the
just-
race in these streaming platforms is going to like increase quite a lot now that they're not just going to be fighting for our attention versus movie theaters, but like it's really just going to be like a competition
because-
between themselves.
Because all streaming services are owned by studios.
Uh-huh.
Warner Brothers owns HBO, therefore they own HBO Max. Disney, obviously Disney Plus. If I had to guess, I assume like Paramount, like the studio, might buy Netflix, or they won't buy Hulu because Disney owns a part of that. But I mean, it's all Paramount might just make their own, and it's the same with
Honestly.
Columbia and all those big studios. They're always gonna have their own streaming service, and that's gonna put theaters out of the market.
Like, what's that one thing that they were advertising? I can't think of it was an app that you could, I don't want to say Tubi. Was it Tubi?
Quibi?
Oh,
Or Tubi?
was it
One of those, and they actually started their own little television series, and it blew up. I can't think of the name of the show, though.
If it's Quibi, was Chance the Rapper on it?
I
feel
think
like?
so.
Yeah, that was a thing for a little bit. It's already dead though.
Does
Damn,
anybody
really?
watch stuff on Apple TV? Like I get all the ads
Apple
for the
TV
shows.
Plus. I forgot about.
I get all the
that.
shows.
Yeah,
They made one Persian movie.
really.
Or a show.
Uh-huh.
I tried to get my mom on. She was like, "Oh, this is so unrealistic." And then like next week, she was like, "So what was the name of it?"
Aw.
See, and something with like Apple TV Plus, a studio obviously wouldn't buy that because like it's Apple and that's their platform, but
Of
they would
course.
probably partner with them
Definitely.
Yeah.
because they've already put out their own content that's crazy with like crazy actors. They got Tom Hanks. They've
Yes.
got
On Apple
that-
TV, I saw Chris
that-
Evans in a show,
Yeah,
and I was like,
and Ewan McGregor has
Nobody
like
knows
this
about
documentary
this.
show that I want to see so bad,
Uh-huh.
but I don't have Apple TV Plus.
Like
6
Tyler
Nine's
Perry.
documentary on Hulu.
Yeah, it's stuff like that where not only movies but cable TV, because all these streaming services are basically paying for channels on cable.
Yeah, because
TV.
I have Hulu Live.
Yeah,
Live stream TV, like right
It's-
off the back off that. Just
Dude,
keep
the
internet, you know what I'm saying?
competition is just growing at such a rapid pace that like one, I can't keep up. Two, it's destroying the it's like okay, so realistically, how many people can afford 4 streaming services
that's the
to
thing,
pay
man.
for in 1 month?
Netflix just is increasing their price by the end of the year.
Netflix isn't increasing it. Hulu, we just named all these different
Really?
ones.
Like all the major ones is like what $60 a month. Like for
no way.
I mean like Hulu,
Oh,
Disney
you mean-
Plus,
you mean if you have
all
them
of them,
all.
all of them.
Oh, I thought you meant per like one.
No. But it's like
Okay.
and like
Cancel
I mean,
my
like,
shit
you know,
today.
diminishing returns based on how many family members you have. We have 8 people in the house, so it's like, and we have like 4 different streaming platforms. So I guess it's worth it, but like, I mean, I don't know. At one point, I'm like, why can't these all be on one app? But then I'm like, that's illegal.
Well, that's cable TV. That's being outcasted because let's think about it. A cable. bill,
cable TV is like, because
a lot
it's
of
a
people,
very different model
A lot
of
of people have
business.
cut their cord and they don't have regular cable TV, which is fine. But like 5 years ago, everyone had cable TV. And they were
Yes.
paying $150 a month. If let's say on average a streaming service is $10 a month, that's 15 different streaming services, and you don't have to pay for all the crap you don't want with cable.
Exactly.
So really, it's a lot cheaper if you think about it compared to
you
cable.
get to cut down on the ads,
Yeah.
especially on Hulu.
You get
ad
to
free.
cut all the stuff you don't want with cable. It's 1,000 times cheaper. Not really. That's exaggerated, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, cable had a very outdated business model with like selling packages of channels and stuff like that. Like
That
it
no
worked.
one
It worked in like the
watched.
70s and 80s, but like trying
Not
to
anymore.
get cable like now 2010s like now it's like looking at like you can get these 70 channels. You're gonna watch 4 of them. The other 66,
Yeah.
you're not gonna ever
Because
touch them.
My house still has cable TV, and my dad. We were talking about the stuff what we're talking about now, and he was saying that his cable bill is 150 plus a month, and there are so many channels. Like there are like 9 different ESPN channels that they make.
Uh-huh.
You can't cut those. Like ESPNU and ESPNU
Yeah,
8
you have to
that
have
you
those.
never watch, showing like college girls tennis at
But they're
KSU.
included. Yep,
That is,
You can't cut those, and that just adds to your bill.
exactly.
It's just
Because
weird.
they're gonna
It-
stay on.
It's interesting that I think only recently like the thing cable TV had was like sports. I feel like because I remember like when we first moved into our house and like before and we moved into the last house that we lived in this state. Like we were always talking how like we had streaming services, but my stepdad he would always watch like the major sports, and like cable was the only thing that really had them at that point. Like not a lot of streaming services have begun to adopt them into their program. And I think recently, we've seen a lot of like Hulu and ESPN bundle where you can watch live sports from those streaming services. And so I think that was like besides just cable having a really bad business model, that is like the kind of the final nail, is that they don't really have like the grip on sports like they used to.
Yeah.
Or like you can now watch.
Because that was one of
sports.
our major things before we even canceled our cable was, first of all, is Hulu going to have all the sports that we're going to watch on there? Because if
Right.
not, you can kiss that goodbye. There's no point in us even getting rid of this.
Like live true TV and like local news too. Same
Yes.
thing. But those are both sports and local news
Yes.
coming to streaming services, which is weird.
Yeah.
Like YouTube TV was the biggest sponsor of the NBA Finals because all the games were streamed on YouTube.
I love YouTube.
I do too.
YouTube is
Speaking of-
amazing, man.
Speaking of YouTube, I just feel as though everybody should put their favorite YouTubers out on the table right now.
Floor 26 podcast.
426 podcast is
Sorry.
always
Definitely,
number one.
that's number one.
Sorry,
That should be number one for everybody
I'm,
at this table.
I'm stroking my dick. I'm sorry.
That should be number one for everybody at this table. But I've really taken a liking. I just really got into Dashy.
Really? Like Dashy Games?
Yes.
Okay.
I love watching him play.
What's up?
It's Dashy.
It's Dashy.
I
Dude,
love watching him do his scary movie games. I think those are the most funniest that I'm gonna get out of Dashy.
I honestly have never watched any of his videos. I just know that impression because I have a
Yes.
friend who is into him.
Yes.
But like he's popular.
He
He's
is.
big. He's a big guy.
I just started getting into Dashy, and then 85th South Show with Carlos, Chico Bean, everybody, the cast from
I
Wildin'
love
Out.
that show.
They are funny.
It's like
They're
Wild and Out the
hilarious.
podcast almost.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they never disappoint in any episode.
Especially
I love
because they're
watching
so
them.
close to home.
Ex-
They're literally it's here.
Literally.
85 is our highway. Literally. One of
Literally.
them.
Yeah, do you remember Miss K, our video teacher, sent us that email from the alumni that works for the 85 South show?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, like
Wait.
when I saw that, it was the day after we had watched it, like sitting here one day after an episode, and then like I was like 85 South Show. That sounds like I recognize that. And so I looked at it. It's like TJ showed me this yesterday. It's that
Yes.
like the big like Wild and Out
Yeah.
podcast, pretty much. It was just interesting. In terms of YouTube, man, like I watch 80 hours of YouTube a week, and I really can't.
Yeah,
Say-
I couldn't tell you.
I
what
know
favorite
it's funny because
YouTubers
we were just talking about subscription services.
Mhm.
I watch YouTube more than all of those combined.
Yeah,
Yes.
and it's free.
Yeah.
It's free.
free.
Exactly.
And-
And
Except they're taking our data.
they're taking our data.
Dude,
Pre-roll ads.
But it's like I just consume so much stuff that like there's different genres. Like in terms of comedy and stuff like that. Like I love like the Trevor Wallace and like YouTube comedy and like commentary little
Mhm.
group right there.
Like Danny Gonzalez type.
I actually don't like Danny Gonzalez or like the other guy, the scrawnier guy, but like Jarvis Johnson's a good commentator. Leon Lush I actually liked a whole lot. But I mean I guess like my favorite content on all of YouTube is Dragon Ball Z Abridged by Team 4-Star. It's like the Dragon Ball series like dubbed and abridged, and it's the most hilarious thing I've ever watched. And so
Nice.
like if I was gonna say what my favorite YouTube videos are on YouTube of all time, it would have to be those.
Yeah.
But it's a very convoluted question, I guess.
I mean, I watch for like commentary. I watch Cody Ko a lot. I like his videos. He's been uploading more recently. And David Dobrik, I recently got into this past month. Like I watched a lot of his old videos because
he
he's just,
stopped doing vlogs, bro. That
He
pissed
only
me
does
off.
TikTok now because he makes more money and it's easier.
No, he doesn't have to worry about putting a vlog out once a week.
Right.
2, he makes more money anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Like it pisses me off though. I like the vlogs.
Yeah.
What is interesting is that I've noticed, especially on Tinder, is that Cody Ko and Noel have like defined comedy for people our age. Like almost like they're like,
Especially girls our age.
oh
They
my
think-
goodness, yeah.
Girls our age think that Cody Ko and Noel are the funniest funniest people
the third coming of Jesus Christ.
of
Like
all time.
Really? I did not know
Yes.
the hype about it. I mean, I like this stuff back
Yeah,
then.
I
used
like
to
I
watch
like
it.
his stuff too. Like I'll laugh every now and then on Cody Ko's video and Noel's videos. Like they're pretty funny.
Yeah.
You know.
but
And
they're
it's the
definitely
same-
the kings of YouTube like
Yeah.
comedy, and especially for young people. And it's interesting because don't flame me for this, but also one of my other favorite YouTubers is Dude Perfect, right? Like the trick
Okay.
shots and like
Yeah.
the funny sketches and whatnot.
That breeze is coming.
Yeah,
Oh, it's-
I'm a little
Dude,
cold right now.
I'm sticking my hands in my beanie because it's freezing.
It's like we're outside, but not really.
We'll get out of here in a second. But what I've noticed is that in terms of like they have like 70 million subscribers, Dude Perfect, and
Wow.
like they
No, I know, and they got-
never collab with any other YouTubers within their
all
bracket.
them.
And same thing with Cody Ko and Noel. Like they are like the kings of like YouTube comedy and commentary. And I hardly ever see him working with other like less like Danny Gonzalez's of the world, like of YouTube.
Right.
Like they're at the upper echelon of that of like YouTube in that sense.
Yeah, and I'm not a Dude Perfect fan personally. Like they've got cool videos. I just don't watch them pretty much at all or on the daily. I've seen their stuff, but they have brand deals. Like they have a whole
Out
Nerf
the-
line.
See, it's some of those things like a lot of people are into this like random stuff, and I'm like, dude, how? Like, how do they have such
But it
a
blows
big
up.
following?
It's
but like,
huge.
But like, they actually have people that like keep up with them every day.
Well,
Yeah.
like Cody Ko and Uomo define comedy and like pop culture for people our age. Dude Perfect defines pop culture and comedy for anyone between the ages of like 9 and
Yeah,
14.
definitely like younger, like middle school sports kids.
Like you can never
Perfect.
underestimate the power of like kids with iPads, you know? Like
Not
you,
at
you go on
all.
you go on YouTube Kids and like the average channels like subscriptions are just like way higher than YouTube. And not just like cuz like YouTube has a bunch of random channels, but like all these kids channels have just hundreds of thousands or millions of subscribers.
And it's
Just
funny-
of
And
like
they're literally just sitting there, either playing with toys
Or unboxing toys.
or unboxing stuff, and
Or making
it's
slime.
funny how people take interest to that. We were literally just talking about how our siblings, especially our younger siblings, like Trey, is addicted to sitting at home and watching other kids play with Nerf guns or playing with action figures.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? How about you? You know, why don't you try playing with your Nerf gun? Why don't you try playing with your action
Dude,
figures?
I
and
mean,
stuff like
we can all admit to this. It's just not as fun.
It's not as fun as it used to be.
No,
I mean,
not even that.
I still
but,
like Nerf guns.
I mean,
give me a
yeah.
Nerf gun right now.
you
I'll
got East
box.
Cop, you got
But,
East
like,
Cop Park and you
No,
LARP with.
literally, I will box.
But like, why do we watch other people play a video game?
That is interesting. It's like a let's play for children.
It's because imagine like this. Imagine your friend is sitting next to you playing a single player game on the couch, right? And he's talking. He's like, "Oh, you're laughing, having a good time." It's the same thing.
It is.
It's the same thing as that, pretty much. If,
Yeah.
you, if you can think about it like that. But
And it really hooks them on, just like it hooks
Right.
us on. Like we all
Right.
just go ahead and dive in.
Did you know the highest paid YouTuber last year was Ryan's Toy Reviews?
who?
Kids YouTuber has more subscribers than Dude Perfect. Ryan's Toy Reviews.
Trey loves Ryan.
Yeah, and I hate
he
him.
has his own.
Isaac loves him too.
He has his own video game.
He has
that-
toy lines like
toy
out the wazoo.
lines,
He
and
got paid.
he's getting.
He got paid more than Ninja and PewDiePie. And he's a 6-year-old kid, and his parents
Wait,
are
wait,
like,
what?
he's a
He's
6-year-old?
6 years
Six.
old.
He has parents-
6 years old.
his parents run the channel where like they're like parents that like play in his things and like really what they're doing
Oh
is
my
like they
God.
unbox toys and then they have like these like skits based around them with like shitty special effects like
Dude,
just basically
they're-
like Premiere Pro
you
like
hear the
there's-
little pow.
like
Yeah.
like if I
The
took
market-
Isaac and a
yes.
camera I could make that level
The
of
market
Yes.
for that is massive.
Well, it's ironic because the two dots we're talking about are really connected because
They are.
people you think about are making the most money. Cody Ko, PewDiePie, all these people who react to stuff and watch videos, a lot of their content is watching those kids' channels. PewDiePie, one of his biggest things is watching random kids' videos that you've never heard of your entire little animations or stuff like that, like live action bad.
Yep.
oh those
effects.
hellish animations.
Right, like all that stuff.
hate
And
those things.
he'll watch it and be like, "What the hell is this?" What? And it'll
and
blow
he'll
up on his
comment off
channel.
of it. Yes.
But one of the things he reacts to is he'll scroll down a little bit and see that they have billions of subscribers. He's
'Cause
like,
people
where
love
the
them.
hell is this
People
coming
love
from?
them.
Yeah. Because kids with iPads, like you said, kids with iPads, they are
There's so many of
powerful.
them. There's so many of them.
They're in armies, dude.
And they're taking over. We just got Trey a new one too.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess we added on to
you
that.
got a new iPad to watch YouTube.
It's for him to watch YouTube.
Yeah.
No,
He
I-
watches YouTube. He plays Ryan's little game that he has on there, and then he sees that Ryan produces his own toys, and he's like, "Can I get that for Christmas?"
Yep. Isaac was like all he wanted was Ryan's toy.
Yes.
That kid is making
I think he made 40 million.
dollars.
I think his parents made
Money.
40 million
All right,
last year.
bro. Let's end this episode and go find a kid we can extort.
I'm telling you, like we could produce that
Camera.
level of.
Camera and kid. That's all we need.
I got a kid.
All
He's
right.
got a kid. We got cameras.
We'll
Scrap the
collab them.
setup, sell everything.
All right, yeah, I
Put it
guess.
into the kids.
Floor 26 podcast is being rebranded as Isaac's Toy Reviews. Patent pending on whether we can use that name or not. But besides that, anybody else got anything to get out of their system?
Everyone good.
I'm at peace.
I will
Wonderful.
go kidnap your brother. Give me 2 seconds.
Okay. You know what, everybody?
Hey, you can't joke about that, man. I'll kill you. I'll kill you. But thank you all for listening to this very special episode of the 426 podcast. So happy to have all of our hosts back for the
first time.
for the first time
Yeah, back,
in
but
4
for the
months.
first time.
And it feels amazing.
It does
I'm glad
feel
to have all
amazing.
you guys here.
I love just sitting in here and just watching the three of you. Didn't mean to sound creepy, but besides that, I hope all of you have a wonderful day.